Alright, welcome to Cobalt Black Gaming, the channel where I play a different game every day and help show off those hidden and not so hidden gems. Welcome on back if you're already a subscriber, and if you're coming back and you weren't already a subscriber, why don't you go on and hit that button. It'll let you know when my videos come out every day and will let you know when I go live. Today, we are going to be taking a look at Horus Desert Survivor. So this game is very interesting. It is a mix between a survivor-like and a deck builder. So we're going to go on in here, and we're going to start. So the way this works is you come on in, and you pick a weapon to start. I'm going to pick Throwing Spear. Honestly, it is one of the best feeling weapons in this game. That is one critique I have. Weapons in this game don't feel super powerful, but the whole concept of the game and everything else kind of overshadows that, and it's still really fun. So as you see, this spear, it just hits one target, but it is pretty much almost one shot, one kill. We got to add some cards to upgrade it, and you'll see how that goes in a moment. But basically, I'm going to run around getting all my XP, as you would in any regular survivor-like. And when that happens, I get to play a card. So some cards like this reduces target weapon's cooldown by 7%, so I could put it on that. It's going to fire faster. We don't want that with this weapon, though. This weapon doesn't need more cooldown. We're going to do fleet-footed. Movement speed is very important in this game. You do not have a lot of it, so you really need to build your deck to get more of it. And I'm actually going to re-roll before I leave this menu. The spear is doing a little bit more damage here. I feel like I want to start seeing more cards that add like flat damage or something to some of these, because sometimes they don't feel like they're super impactful, but it is also because you come into a run with the basic deck. You don't have any, crazy cool or good cards. You can unlock some through meta progression. I've unlocked a few already, but what I am using so far is just your standard fare. I have none of this had to be unlocked. All these cards come with just starting the game and no meta progression. Because I'm trying not to just be like, oh man, I progressed all the way through this game, so now you see awesome stuff. We are going to go for... I'm going to go for the heal 10 HP. That'll help recover from any mistake. Use 15 to remove... Nope. We'll take the coin. We're going to come here. Okay, we get another weapon. We're going to go for something shooting. I think we're going to go for Spirit Wave. Spirit Wave's nice because it is theoretically infinitely scaling. We're going to take this. So... Fire Spear is a little bit better than regular Spear. It's one shot, one kill. It'll set enemies on fire, and then they'll be burning. And they don't really take that well. Reduces random weapon by cooldown by 2%. If discarded, heal 5 HP. Okay, 3% movement speed, draw a card. Yeah, and some of them will have effects where, it'll let you draw another card or something to kind of help you mill through your deck, getting to the cards you want. 10% damage to target weapon counts as 2 upgrades, so that's actually huge, kind of. No, that's huge, because you want the upgrades. You want it to count as more upgrades, because what happens is, at 5, you get to pick a special bonus reward, but you can keep upgrading it. So, that'll actually be really good. And we're going to add Berserk. We have just enough to remove a card. We are going to get rid of a Fierce. Fierce does add more damage than that card we just picked up, but it only counts as 1 increase. And we like the card that we picked up because it counts as 2. So we're going to do Durable just to start kind of getting more of that HP built up throughout the game. And we're going to go with Agile because Fire Spear, like I said, is already one shot, one kill because of the burn. So we're looking to increase its speed. Also, if I could increase its range, that'd be great, but I don't think I've seen any cards yet that increase range, so that's a little disappointing for this particular weapon. But as you see, one shot, one kill, super good. So, I will add, I was sent a code for this game and asked to check it out by the developer. It was more just I want to make sure I am transparent on this channel when I am checking out a game because I was given a code versus when I just kind of was wandering around and found a cool game to check out. But I was glad I was given a code to this game. This game, you know, once it kind of popped up on my radar, I thought it was very interesting. And so far I've been having a good time with it. I think it is definitely one of those, it's definitely one of those roguelites that you can win your first run, but I don't think the majority of people are going to win their first run. If that makes any sense. You know, because there's definitely your roguelites where it's like, yeah, you're going to win your first run, you're going to win most runs, you know, just that's how it works. And there are the other ones where it's like, you're not going to win the first 10 runs unless you're cracked at these games. You really need the meta progression. And this one's kind of somewhere in the middle where it's like, you're going to need something. I actually have not won a run yet. You get meta progression for progressing through the level. So you get these scrolls and you can spend them at the upgrade screen. So I've been able to get some of that just because I've gotten far enough, but I have not beaten the final boss. All right, we're going to come in here. We're going to add that. We are going to do this just to get this. Okay, so 1 times additional bullet or shoots another spear. That's... I feel like these end up being the same thing. Spear leaves a burning trail. That sounds huge, actually. This is actually hard. I think we go for burning trail, actually. Yeah. That sounds like it could be really good. So we're going to shoot that, and now you're seeing the new Spirit Wave work. Spirit Wave is awesome because, again, it is theoretically infinitely scaling in that as many enemies that can fit into the area it touches, they all get hit. So it is very powerful, very good for horde clear. And I've used it before to just kind of run out a horde if I didn't really have the sheer damage to get through it. Now, we're going to want to increase this thing's damage more, right? The Fire Spear, we want to increase the cooldown. For Spirit Wave, we want to increase damage. That way, as we're going through, we are doing as much harm as possible to those we want gone. Fire Spear is also awesome because it is just enough range that it can kind of keep myself safe when I'm fighting bosses like this. So there is like a fire swirl kind of thing that, like, you know, it does a little AoE around you. I don't like it because the range is very short, so you have to play this weird game of trying to outrun hordes, but not by too much, because you want your ability to hit them, but you want to run away so that they don't hit you. And usually I found myself, when I got close enough to hit them, they were close enough to hit me and I had problems. Now, that is partly a skill issue, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. But, you know, I do play a lot of these games. I'm not going to say I'm cracked at these or super good, but in most of these games, I do find it a little easier to kind of adjust to odd things around weapons, such as strange ranges and things like that. Okay, pick one card. We're actually going to come back in here and grab another Fire Spear, I think. Godly Blast is also pretty good. But Fire Spear, I really like. I haven't found Godly Blast to be amazing. So we're going to go with Fire Spear. Okay, we can heal up or we can spend money. We don't have that much money. We're going to heal. All right. I do like, too, that this has your typical roguelite progression screen, right? Where you have the nodes that you go from one node to the next node to the next node. I do find that really nice and interesting with this survivor-like kind of over-theme to it. You usually don't see that. It's usually just kind of you go in, you run around a big area, and then you're done with your run. However, because of how this works, it kind of flips the nature of survivor-likes on its head, right? Where most survivor-likes are about just getting stupid, filthy, overpowered to the point where one weapon fires and kills hundreds of enemies. you know, maybe okay, that's just soulstone, but still, they are usually about getting very, very, very strong and just kind of watching all your abilities decimate hordes. Whereas every time you go into a new area with this, you start over. You're beginning again. So it is very interesting to see that. All right, increase this target weapon's damage by 5% whenever you draw this. Add a copy of it to your hand. Exhaust. Okay. Another spear or an additional bullet. Interesting. I think because we have 2 spear weapons, we could go with this, and this will be in our favor in a bit, I believe. So yeah, we're going to take that. We're going to cycle. And we are going to go back to the match. But yeah, so I've not found myself hitting those crazy heights of power like you do in a lot of Survivor likes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually kind of refreshing, I guess, to have this kind of like level where you do have to kind of keep building up each time. It lets you try out different runs fairly quickly, I guess. And yeah, the deck builder aspect is really cool. I like that they kind of did this synergy of these 2 genres. And I guess 3 genres, right? Because the whole node system is more of an action roguelite thing. We're gonna take fleet-footed for our own safety. But I think we're also done with this, right? We're gonna kill, yep. All right. We don't have summon weapons, heal 10 HP. We're gonna go with the pickup radius. Later on, pickup becomes a bit of an issue. Okay, we're gonna go with Godly Blast this time. I don't want a regular throwing spear. I don't really care for that. Transform a card of your choice. This is difficult. I guess I'll just go with a Fierce. Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that. It's just 5% more damage than a Fierce would be. I'm good for that. We'll get you with a couple of agilities. We'll reroll since it's free, and we'll hop on into the match. Yeah, so I kind of do like the starting over and over again gameplay loop of this. And that in and of what I just said, like that in of what it is not going to be for everybody, right? And I think that is going to be the peculiar part about this game for a lot of people, is that you are going to take this and look at it, and it's going to be like, okay, who is this game for, right? Is it your typical survivor-like bro who just wants to kind of, you know, hack and slash through massive amounts of hordes? Or is it your action roguelike fan that wants fast-paced action? And this is kind of both but neither, right? I think it is kind of for people like me, where I play pretty much any kind of roguelite. And so it is really cool for me to see games like this where you have these synergies between 2 wildly different genres of roguelite, right? Like deck builder, I would never put anywhere near survivor-like, especially in the way they did it, right? And that's kind of cool, is the execution of this fusion, if you will. And so, you know, I think this is definitely one of those interesting games. I really like it. I can definitely see where it might not be for everybody. However, I can definitely see a lot of people enjoying it. You know, so definitely if you're watching this and you're seeing this and you're just like, I don't know, man, this isn't for me. Yeah. All right. That makes total sense. I'm not even going to argue with you on that. However, I will say I'm having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, we have our Spirit Wave here, and this is what I was talking about, what it's really good for. It is insanely good for just getting rid of these massive hordes that are following you around while you use your spears, and I guess now my whatever God Blast. to take out priority targets. I don't want to heal, but I do want to heal, so we're going to use that. We're going to reroll because I don't care for anything else there. We are going to agile you, take you, add you, and get back in the fight. That is one thing I will say, though, is I do want to see, I don't know, a way to increase XP gain or something like that in this game, because it is kind of that blue balls of, oh man, I just like evolved a bunch of stuff. I've hit the point where I'm going to be strong. This is awesome. And then it's like, okay, you're done. And you're like, well, hold on now. I wanted to see what I could do, and it's like, you don't need to. So I definitely want to see if there are like longer matches or things. And again, mind you, this is being said by someone who has not beat the first boss. So these things could all change in the next area or something like that. You know, I could see a whole slew of new cards and things like that that I have not seen before. This is kind of just my first impressions on the game. And I guess not entirely first impressions, right? I had done a run before I started recording, but not much more than that. Okay, we're gonna do durable. Just keep passively adding a couple HP every time, you know? That's how you get big and strong. Alright, oh. We don't like cobras. Cobras spit fire. I don't know why it's fire, but they spit fire. The other thing I do love about this game is the Egyptian theme. I feel like maybe it's, you know, it's a very highly represented mythos, but I feel like I don't see that many games with the Egyptian theme. At least not in like the roguelike genre, right? You know, you have your Assassin's Creed Origins, you have your kind of bigger games that touch on it, but in roguelites and maybe other indie games, you don't necessarily see it that much. So it's kind of cool to be going with this theme. Okay, what do we want to do? I'm gonna upgrade the spears. I think that's the play, and I'm gonna get some move speed, and we're gonna walk out of that explosion so I don't die. I don't think that would kill me, but you know, I've never been hit by it, and I don't intend to start now. Oh, these I don't like these floating Cleopatra ghosts, what have you. Not cool. I need them to stay right the hell away from me. All right. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt in a second. Oh, okay, it didn't do too much damage. That was not crazy. I like how I said that right now. Hey, I've never been hit by this, and I don't intend to start. And I was just like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? What if that happened in the next 2 seconds? Okay, we're gonna do this, and that should give us another spear. And we're gonna cycle this, and we're gonna keep going. I don't even know why I have another spear. I just have 3 spears. We don't need another spear. Just keep getting the weapon over and over again. I'll take it. Until I see like other weapons I want to be stacking, I will just go full spear build. Right. We're gonna grab this. Yeah, we're gonna grab that. And we're going to start leveling up you. Agile, fierce, reroll. Another spear, nice. We'll go for that next time we can. Although, yeah, I was about to say, and we're done. Yeah, so that's definitely something I want to see is, like, longer runs. Okay. That's a full gather XP crystals. That'll be really nice. All right, we're about to see the boss. I think you know what? No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, because if I do, I'm going to immediately have problems and regret that I said anything. I'm looking forward to this, though. That is what I will say. I'm excited to be playing this game on this level against this opponent. Is that a good politician answer? All right. Oh, this is gonna... I want to keep this. Like, drawing this first sucks. I want to keep it, but I'm not gonna... I guess we're gonna play you. We're gonna keep pumping you. All right, now we shoot 3 spears. I think this will be nice and devastating to our enemies. Oh, these beetles are tanky as all hell. It's actually kind of better to just do that. Just walk up to them and dash out. As long as you have your dash up, just don't get cocky and do it when you don't have your dash up, right? Which is something I will undoubtedly do now that I've said it out loud. That was actually a close one. I had a bad angle of exit there. It was almost tangential. I was almost just going to end up still in the circle. And this is where the spears suffer, right? Is I'm not really dealing with this horde super well. Because I have 3 of them and it is one shot, one kill, it's fine. But they're definitely much better horde clear weapons. And it is why I got the Spirit Fire. We're going to go with this. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We are going to go with this. We're going to go with this. And we're going to grab another spear. And then we're going to reroll. And then we're going to get back in the fight. Alright, so we have a slightly bigger pickup radius. I am slow as fuck. What happened? Did I lose speed? What is going on here? I feel way slower. Oh, or did they get way faster for a second? Seriously, what just happened? That was weird, right? I'm not imagining that? I'm gonna look at this footage later and just be like, oh, you were imagining the entire thing. Good job, idiot. Alright, maybe I didn't pay attention to, like, some fine print on a card, I guess. Alright, there's the boss. This is what we want to be fighting. And that's why I wanted to come at the boss with fire spears, is because, again, it keeps me at a good distance, but it does a good clip of damage, and the burning really helps out. So we're actually gonna walk away. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, because I am not comfortable right now with the speed I'm moving at. Hopefully we get another spear pop here. Okay, that's good. We'll take the spirit wave too. Yeah, so I think in future runs, I'm just not going to bother with pickup radius. Like, this just feels not useful. Feels like I would need a lot of investment to make that work. And in a game like this, where every point of, like, card energy is necessary to get just your power up there, I don't want to use investment on pickup radius when it's not going to be... it's not a good ROI, is bottom line. Bottom line, not good ROI. I don't recommend it. Ow. Okay. That was about to be not good. I don't want to... Man, I need to stop being near your ass. It's unwelcome that the horde continues spawning while you're fighting the boss. I can take over and manually target, I think, but... Actually, I might have to. All right. We got some burn on him. Hopefully that's doing something. He said as the burn stopped ticking. Does it just go away when you enter the ground? Is that how that works? I want to be near you, though. Yeah, that auto-targeting is really messing me up here. All right. You go underground less. I would like that. All right, healing crystal. That is what's ridiculous. The healing drops from enemies heal 1, and I rarely ever see them. They heal 1 HP. Like, at this point, don't have them at all. Make them heal, like, at the very least 3. 3 HP, fine. 3 HP and increase their drop rate. I'm game. 1 HP with this absolutely abysmal drop rate. I don't even know why it doesn't exist. I have bad cards that do more. Yeah, I think the main thing I want to see with this game is the upgrades need to be more impactful, right? I gain more power from picking up a second weapon of the same type than I would from upgrading and, you know, reaching that 5th evolution or whatever you want to call it of the weapon, right? They don't feel meaningful enough. And the 5th upgrade of the weapon that gets you that ultimate power up or whatever should be something instantaneous rather than extra cards, especially with the match length being so short and the XP being so low that, you know, even if I try to rush one weapon and ignore anything else, I always get that right before the match is over. So either these maps need to have tasks or something that kind of elongate the time that you're in there so that these upgrades are meaningful and getting to that evolution is powerful and meaningful, or you need to increase the XP so that people can get to them sooner. And this was just the demo, right? So that's you know, kind of a huge thing about it. This was the demo. It's not like this is the full release or anything, to be very clear. But yeah, you come in here and here are the upgrades. Enemies drop HP orbs more often. That would have to be a lot more often for me to care. Add Mighty to your starting deck. That's pretty good. 10% gold after elite fights. Remove 1 fierce from your starting deck. Plus 10 max HP. Can I get this multiple times? Start each fight with plus 1 energy. Plus 10 movement speed. We're going to do this. Okay, magnetic, 10% pickup radius, reduce random cards cost by 1 until played. Okay, I don't care about pickup radius. 10% damage to target weapon, add a curse to your discard pile. Interesting. That was because it was, it had no cost. That's your payback there. Okay, we'll add Mighty to the deck. Yeah, so that was a run of Horus Desert Survivor. I definitely think it's a very cool game, very cool concept. I think it needs a little love when it comes to balancing of it. Maybe, you know, increase the range of some weapons and just kind of shore up how your numbers work, I guess. But aside from that, it is a pretty solid game. Like, I definitely look forward to seeing the early access and then the full release of this, because I think with some changes to the numbers, this could be really, really fun. That was Horus Desert Survivor. If you enjoyed the video, a like and a sub would be very much so appreciated. I'm trying to grow the channel right now, and every little bit helps. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out.